Hi, everyone. I know we've all been doing more meetings or lessons on Google Meet lately, and often you want to be able to share something like a presentation with your students or your colleagues, but you also want to be able to see their faces on the Google Hangout at the same time. This can often be difficult, but I've got an easy solution for you. So let's come up here. I've got my Google Meet open, and you can just imagine you might have a dozen or so colleagues on this meeting. You might have 20 or 30 students on your Hangout, and you want to be able to see all of them while you are presenting information to them. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by dragging my Meet tab away from the top of the screen. This breaks it away from the other two tabs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it over to the left side of my screen. I can see that this translucent box appears because it wants to snap that window to the side of my screen. And I'm going to let it do that by letting go of my mouse. I'm going to do the same thing with the other window now. And I'm just going to drag it over to the right-hand side of my screen. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to present my screen. And when you present your screen, we often present our entire screen and show our Google Slides presentation in present mode. But we're going to do it a little bit differently today. There's two other options here. There's presenting one tab or presenting one window. If I was only presenting my presentation, then that's fine. I could use a single tab, but I actually want to share a Nearpod lesson as well. So I'm going to choose one window. And I'm going to choose the Chrome window that has both my Google Slides file and my Nearpod presentation. You'll notice up here, I have two tabs open, my example presentation and my Nearpod lesson. So I'm going to choose this window and I'm going to click on Share. Now, when this shares, it's only going to share this window on the right with my students. Okay, so all they can see on my screen is this window over here. They won't be able to see this Google Meet that I'm seeing. So now what you can do is you can share this presentation with them. But you're probably thinking, gee, it's awfully small. That's probably difficult for them to see. So let's choose an easy way to show them this in full screen. So instead of clicking on present mode, I'm going to change the URL. And it's really, really simple to do this. I'm going to come up here to my link, and I'm going to click on it. I'm going to press the down arrow, which takes me to the end of the link. And I'm just going to erase everything up to this word edit. And I'm going to erase that word edit as well. And I'm going to replace this with the word preview and hit enter. And what this does is it puts your slides presentation into a preview mode, which is like present mode, so that the slides take up the entire window. And now my students over here are seeing my presentation and they're seeing the information on the slides in full screen. So I can now share with them some information or some reminders, and I can work through the slides the same way I normally would. If I finish showing them my slides and I want to go over to my Nearpod file, I can now just choose this tab up here, and I can show them what we are working on in our Nearpod lesson today. And they're going to see this presented on the Google Meet. So this is really helpful because I can now watch the chat. I can see if anyone has any questions, and I can keep an eye on my students. And it's just very nice to be able to talk to people and present to them and see them at the same time. So I hope this makes your Google Meets go a little bit more smoothly.